Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Joel. I'm now a third semester nursing student at Imperial Valley College, and for today's video, it's going to be dealing with self-doubt. Whew, self-doubt. Okay, so the definition of self-doubt is pretty much not feeling that you should be in the position where you're at, or you can't believe like how you made it that far. So it's kind of like, in a way, it's attached with imposter syndrome, but I feel like self-doubt is more like, am I doing enough? Like, should I really be here? Stuff like that. Now, when it comes to self-doubt, I really used to have a lot of it when I was doing my prerequisites, because I was a tutor for physiology and microbiology and anatomy. And even though I got A's on those classes, at first I did feel a little weird to be like, well, who am I to explain things to someone? Who am I to, really be with them at the class and answer their questions? Like, what if I don't know their questions and stuff like that? So I guess it is kind of like a synonym. I would say it again, like imposter syndrome. So with the video that I did about imposter syndrome, how I deal with it, you should check that one out in order for you to see kind of like both angles. Now with self-doubt, once I was in nursing school, like pretty much before the midterm, like the self-doubt just went away immediately, because I was like, you know what, everyone's really stressful, so it's normal to be stressful in nursing school, but I feel that I'm putting more stress on myself. So what I'm gonna do is that I'm just not gonna care about being the best or anything. I'm just going to compete and do my best. And by competing, I don't mean against my peers, because that'll be a little toxic, because then you're gonna have that type of, I need to prove myself, I always need to be better, I want the professor to always look up to me, to be like, oh, he probably has the answers. Like, there's really no reason for you to be that student. Really, no one cares, one. And two, even if you do know everything versus someone that is okay, they're still gonna get paid the same once you're in the floor and stuff like that. So, obviously it's good to have like a nurse that really knows their stuff, but you don't have to be like that student that always volunteers for everything, that always knows everything, that always does everything perfectly. Like, no, in reality, you can just be normal. Just get the things done, and that's it. It really doesn't matter anything else. So that's what I mean by competing. That's one. And then competing against yourself, because competing against me of yesterday or the me of last week, I always want to be better than that Joel from back then. So something that this Joel right now is struggling with is studying a little bit more, because now that we have, the semester's going to be over in like almost nothing, less than a month, you're kind of like just, you're like barely walking, and you're like, oh my god, like I don't know how I'm even walking, stuff like that. So you just feel like very tired, like mentally tired in a sense, and you don't have like the same type of, I don't want to say motivation, but the same type of like energy for studying, because you just feel like everything's just like piling up and piling up and piling up, and it's like, oh my god, like I don't even know how I'm like holding on to everything. So and I've been asking a lot of my friends in nursing school in my semester, and they have been telling me the same thing, like, yeah, it really gets harder for me to concentrate, it really requires more energy for me to like actually get the things done, and like very procrastination, but like to another level. So what my future me will like to do, or my the me of tomorrow, will be to write down everything on my agenda, what I want to do tomorrow. So I already have all my tasks filled out, have my breaks in between, have my day kind of like already scheduled in a sense, because this coming week, like I don't work at all or anything, so I can really like put that time into studying and for myself, treat myself and stuff like that. So yeah, I can set up like really good, and just by doing that, I'm gonna be better than the me of yesterday or the me of right now, because I haven't really wrote down anything on my agenda for like the past 3 or 4 days. So just by doing like things like that, like competing against yourself and just being better, just a little bit better, that's gonna be like another level when you're like done with the month, when you're done with the year. I'm really proud of myself for how much I've grown this year since 2020 started to this. Like, this is a completely different Joel from December 31st 2019. Oh no, 2020. Yeah, because we're in 2021, right? We're gonna go to 2022. Damn. So yeah, so pretty much with the self-doubt, it's like, just worry about competing against yourself and doing your best. And when you feel that you're doing your best, it really doesn't matter too much the outcome. You fail an exam, which has happened to me. even by a few points, you know, it really doesn't hit you that bad, because you're like, actually, you know, I gave it my all and I really can't do anything, I can't change anything, so it's like, why should I worry about it? And that mentality has been going on since like first semester. Like if I know I really studied, if I know that I was studying every day for consistent hours, and I was doing a lot of practice questions, and I was watching a lot of YouTube videos, and I still failed, I was like, I mean, what else could I do? It's like, I mean, like, so why worry about it? And that has been my module since then. And really, whenever the tests are up, when it says like, oh, your test has been graded, it's like, okay, you always feel like, you know, your heart racing and stuff like that. But you know, when I happen to fail, I'm not like, oh my god, it's the end and stuff like that. I'm just like, oh well, whatever, we'll try it better next time. Or let's see what we can do to modify our plan. Maybe study like 30 more minutes each day to see if that can work out. Ask other of my friends in nursing school to see like what did they use, what videos did they use and stuff like that, what programs. So yeah, you know, always being open-minded to adapting your studying method, because you know, you can always tweak it a little bit more than what it is. So yeah, just like by competing again and doing your best, you should be fine. And the self-doubt it's gonna come, obviously. It's natural for self-doubt to come, but you cannot really control the first thought of self-doubt, because it just comes to your mind for whatever thing you're seeing or whatever just comes to your mind out of nowhere. But after the first few seconds, you're the one that decides if you still want to go with that story, if you still want to feed onto it, or if you just want to like talk to yourself and be like, honestly, I'm just worried about competing and doing my best, and that's all that matters. And that has been really, really good for me. So yeah, whenever I have an exam score, I feel satisfied about it. And if I pass with a really good grade, then I feel more satisfied, and I'm less likely to tweak the study method that I'm doing because it's actually working. But again, if I score fairly low on one, then I can ask myself like, okay, did you actually, you know all the pathophysiology about it and the signs and symptoms, or you just kind of like knew the general aspect of it and not really specific things? So if I say to myself, oh no, I just went over the general thing, I didn't really go specifically, then I'll be like, okay, well, for the next exam, we can try and focus a little bit more on the specific things, you know, to avoid this type of thing. And yeah, so everything's pretty much like a trial and error. So yeah, like, it's always gonna come again, but after a couple of seconds, it's your choice if you want to continue with that thought or not. So yeah, that's pretty much gonna wrap the end of this video. Thank you so much guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.